Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Nikki, this is Nikki Joe Budgets, and today is Figure It Out Friday. This is where we review the budget from the last 2 weeks, and it's payday. So we are going to plan our budget for the next 2 weeks. So let's get started. I did implement the newest addition to my planners, the one that I keep in my purse, and I want to show you how I'm using that to help me with my budget. Now remember, this is not my neat and pretty planner, this is the scribble, scratch, and whatever planner, especially for the month of June since I had to add it in. So what I did is I went through, and every day that I was out and I spent money on something, I wrote it down. So Tuesday I stopped and got 2 coffees at McDonald's, $10.58. Friday I went and got gas. Then that was the first week of the pay period. Then this week I got lunch on Monday. I was supposed to go to dinner yesterday, but we canceled. This Arby's charge was actually on Tuesday for a coffee or a lemonade, and then I made 2 purchases that were for personal and beauty on Amazon. I'm showing you this because I want to show you how I'm incorporating my everyday planner into my budget planner like I told you I was going to do. So I just want to show you that to get started. Okay, now let's get into our budget planner here, and let's move to June. Alright, and let's go to this week. So the things marked in green are the bills that needed paid for this week out of this pay period, and I have already gone on and paid them all. So I can go ahead and put my check marks in my boxes because they were all paid. Alright, and then the next thing is I changed my budget a little bit. So this is not the one that you saw me write at the beginning of the month, and that's okay because things changed. So the original budget plan, which is right here, I had down that we were going to budget for $1,200. That didn't change. We're still doing budgeting for $1,200. Our bills and fixed expenses came to $513. Those have changed to $526, and I'm going to tell you why. This Amazon Subscribe and Save actually came out the paycheck before, so it did not need to be written on this one. So that took us down $17. But if you recall, I paid off a credit card in May. So that credit card now becomes snowballed. And that amount was $30 that I was paying every month. So that snowball amount I forgot to put on my bills and fixed expenses. So I needed to write that on here because I'm taking that $30. I'm still using the same $30 that I would have every month on that paycheck. Only now instead of labeling it to the credit card, it's labeled to Snowball, and it will go to the next credit card on the list, which is my Fortiva. So this will now get $70 instead of just its $40 because that's how the Snowball debt snowball works. So that we forgot to put on here, so I had to add that. Then down here in my debt, I did not I actually did estimate okay, but I wanted to estimate $100, $50, and $50, and so this changed. All right, so that section changed, that section changed. So down here for Klarna, we estimated $100. That was our budget. Afterpay was $50, Affirm was $50 for a budget of $200. And then the other thing I wanted to change how I was doing was my variable expenses. I just wrote down originally what went to the wallet in the savings challenges and so on. I wanted it to be more itemized. It helps me see where I can add things when I have extra. So we broke the wallet down on the new one to be 40. I broke it down to what the envelopes are. So we have gas, groceries, takeout, personal, and buffer. Now I budgeted the same. The amounts didn't change. That stayed the same. Mondays and Tuesdays, the budget amount stayed the same. The old paper, I wrote savings challenges. The new one, I broke it down. These are my Monday challenges. These are my Tuesday challenges. That way, when we get to a point where I can add other challenges, I can break that down here too. And then sinking funds, that I already broke that down into Saturdays. My Saturday sinking funds for Stuff and Save, my Christmas, and my birthdays. And I wrote that down the same way, and the budget was still the same. And then the dogs for their budget, okay? So I just changed how I was writing them down. Now, let's get into the budget. So, when we filled out the budget, the paycheck budget at the beginning of the month, this is what our budget was for. And this here now that I've paid the bills, this is what our actual is. So we budgeted for $526 and we actually paid $526.83. So we were really close there. In our debt column, we budgeted for $200. We paid Klarna, Afterpay, and Affirm, and our total came to $186.61. So we were under budget here, also good. In our variable expenses, we budgeted for $338. But after I paid all the bills and I reviewed the budget, I realized I could actually bump it up some. So I added $20 to our variable expenses, and I added it into our Monday minis that we can save a little more there. So that went up by $20. I budgeted $1,200 for the income, and the income actually was at $1,282. When you subtract off our debts, we are still ahead by $210.56. That money right now is sitting in a checking account until I make sure that all the bills clear and we're good and I don't need any extra for groceries, and then that will get transferred into some of our sinking funds or savings challenges or wherever I decide to put that. So that is where we are. We fell under budget and came out ahead by $210. So this 2-week budget worked perfectly. I'm going to turn the page here, and I want to show you that I have also added this little half sheet in here. It's hard to read because I printed it lightly, but this I got off of Happy to Plan with Desiree on her Patreon. So I was a member on her Patreon, and this was one of the sheets that she had on there, and it's the cash plan. And I thought, we're going to print this and bring this to our budgeting binder. So the cash plan is where we decide what denominations we need for each of those envelopes. Okay, so that is what I did here. Gas is going to get, I wrote down the denominations here. I'm not going to say what it's going to get. We'll get to that. Wrote down the totals down here at the bottom, the denominations, and their actual money total. And this total needed to equal what our variable expenses equaled, and that was $358 here. And when I added up our numbers, we got $358. So that is my cash plan for the week. And now we get into our cash envelope budget, where I just transferred what I wrote there over to here. And this is where we're also going to use this page to update our trackers. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to count out our cash needed. So here is our cash. We have our cash tray, and we are going to get these numbers counted out, make sure we have exactly what we need in our cash so that we can stuff our wallets and write it in our trackers. All right, so we needed 48 ones. Let's count those and see that we have 48. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Let's stick that in the cash tray here. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48. So 48 ones is correct. So we can put a check mark there. We should have $20 or 25, sorry. So let's count those next. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. So our 5s are correct. We should have 5 10s. And we do. So our 10s are correct. We need to have 3 20s. 1, 2, 3, and 2 50s. 1, 2. So our cash tray is correct and balances. So now we can move on and start working with our wallets and trackers. So first, let's get out our wallet. The wallet, I can tell you right now, is empty because everything I had in here was spent over the last 2 weeks. And I need my half sheet over here. There we go. All right, so the wallet, I have my cash plan here, so I know what's going in the wallet. So for gas, it gets 2 20s for $40 because we did increase that budget this month to $40 a week instead of $30. Takeout is getting 2 10s and 2 5s for $30. 10, 20, 25, 30. Get in there. Groceries is getting 2 50s for a total of $100. That is another one that we bumped up. We did have it at 60. We now have it at 100. Personal is getting a 10 and 2 5s for $20. So 10, 15, and 20. And then Buffer gets $10, and that is in 2 5s. So 5 and 10. So the wallet is stuffed and ready for the next 2 weeks. So we can set that aside. I'll set that one right over there. And then next we want to get out our trackers. So I'll get my tracker binder, and I need my savings wallet. So I'll be right back. Sorry about that. I thought I had this over here on my table. So this wallet is where we put our sinking funds and our money for our savings challenges. And I need the dog's wallet as well. Jeez, Nikki. Okay, there. Now we've got them all. So let me set these aside. We'll do them one at a time. So the first thing we're going to do is the dogs. And the dogs get $30 from each paycheck. And right now, I need to pull some out of here. I had transferred $60 of their money out of this and out of the bucket and into the checking accounts because their dog food subscription's coming out. So they now have 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19 in there. And we are going to add another 30. And we are going to put that in as, where would we put dogs? 2 10s and 2 5s. 2 10s and 2 5s. And then we'll stick that all together. So they now have 20, 30, 10, 20, 30, 35, 40, 45, 46, 47, 48, and 49. Alright, so we added $30 to the dog's binder. That binder also already has its saving bucket. So we need to add that to the tracker. So dogs, and let me get my marker. Today is the 12th. Let me get that out so I can write in it better. And we added 30 to their food, and they now have $49 in their account. So dogs are good and tracked. All right, so that's it for the dogs. So let's see, we did all of these. I can mark them off, and we did the dogs. Next, let's get out our pink wallet here, and let's fill her up. So Stuff and Save is what we do on Saturdays, and that money goes into a high yield savings account. This Stuff and Save is getting, why didn't I write the amounts down on here? That doesn't help me much. Oops, sorry about that, guys. So Stuff and Save gets $16, and it's all in ones. And we do it in 8s and 8s because this is what we're doing for the next 2 weeks. So we'll get our paper clips, and let's get our money out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that is for one Saturday, and this is for the next Saturday. And this is, if you're new here, this is prop money. I don't keep cash in my house. I keep it in the bank earning me interest. So that's $16 that needs to go into the high yield account. So we'll type in the 16. So Saturday is done. And then we don't put anything in here. And then Monday Minis is getting 4 5s and 30 1s. So let's start with the 5s. And again, we do 2 piles for Monday Minis. There's that. And then 30 1s. So each pile will get 15. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And so we will put this together for the first Monday. This is what we'll use for our Monday Minis. And those Monday Mini games are for several different sinking funds that we're saving for. Set that one aside. Put a little bow on this one. And those are for Mondays. Next, we're going to stuff our Tuesday Tinies. And each week in Tuesday gets $6. So a 5 and a 1. Get those paper clips out. There's that one. And there's that one. Alright, so we put the $16 in for Stuff and Save. Monday Minis got $50 this time. And Tuesday Tinies, which goes toward debt, got the $12. So $78 is what we are putting in the high yield savings account. So let's get our tracker. And that account is getting 78. So 6, 12, 26 plus 78. And I can't read my handwriting. That says 222 plus we're adding another 78. So that has an even 300 in it now in our high yield savings account. That holds all the money for buckets not created yet. All right, we'll put that aside. And next we are going to fund our Christmas. So Christmas is getting $25 and it's all in 5s. So 5, 10, 15, 20, and 25. And we'll stick that in here for when we play our Christmas games. And then this wallet is finished. And we need to log. Christmas does have a bucket already, so we're going to go to our Christmas tracker. I think I went too far. And we are going to add $25 to our Christmas tracker. So 6, 12, 26, we are adding $25. That is going to take our total to $257 in Christmas. And then the last thing we're going to fund is birthdays, so I might as well get the tracker out now. And just go ahead and write it in here, and then we'll get the binder. So birthdays this time is getting 25, and it has 79, so we should now have 104 in birthdays. And let me grab that binder and we can put the money in. We are done with our trackers. And then for birthdays, we are adding that last $25. And we are into September with the birthdays. And we are at this one, and we are going to add 20 and 5. So we have 20, 40, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49 in his. So we'll do minus 49. We have 5 in this one, minus 5, and there should be 50 in July. And 20, 40, 50. There is. So birthday tracker and birthday binder is correct. There's that. And then, what is this? Why do I have these? I think simply because I forgot to put them away when I was counting out 20s. I think I just counted the 20s wrong when I counted the prop money, guys. I'll go back and double check my numbers, because I should have only had 3 20s in here. I want to make sure I put 20s where they were supposed to be. I'm sure I did. I think I just counted wrong when I got out the prop money, because everything else is working out. I should have had 3 20s, 2 for gas and 1 in birthdays, which didn't I just put? I did just put 1 in here. Let me double check. Would be in my 2nd September envelope. Yeah, I know I put that. I think I did, because this binder equaled out, and then the other one should have been in gas, and I increased it to 40. So I think all I did was, yeah, I just counted my prop money wrong, guys. I don't know how I did that, because I literally counted it with you. I'll watch the video. I'll figure out what I did. You guys are probably all laughing at me right now, knowing exactly what I did. But anyways, that's our Figure It Out Friday. We reviewed the last 2 weeks on our budget. Oh, no, I forgot one more thing. Let's not hang up. Let's not shut down yet. In our weekly, that's what I was going to show you. So I told you I have my everyday binder, and I've been writing down when I spend money, where I spend it. Well, then I went over and I wrote those numbers into our weekly budget here. So Tuesday, June 2nd, I spent $10.58 eating out. I only put a dot on this one because I wanted to show you what we're doing. So gas doesn't have a dot. I'm trying to decide if I want to add the dot here and keep track of how much I spend in gas, but I kind of am already doing that with my wallet, so I guess I didn't need to put that down. But I did buy a special monochrome coloring book online, and it was $25, and that would be a random miscellaneous. And then I actually managed to have 5 days where I did not spend money. That makes me so happy. I don't think that's ever happened in my entire life. And so then down here at the bottom is where we write our categories here and our amounts spent here. So in this week I did a random purchase on the coloring book. So I can put that there, that dot down, and then the eating out. And I know my eating out envelope was empty. But that's because I probably spent it elsewhere. Like, I can put it toward like the coloring book instead of, this. I also, you'll see here in a minute where else it went. So eating out total this week was this is eat out, and the total was $10.58. I'm still getting a grasp on how I'm doing my budget with random purchases and tracking everything I spend. So this is still messy, but it's better than it was 2 months ago. Random miscellaneous spent was that coloring book, and it was $25. Okay? Then the following week, which would be the week we're in, just finishing up now, anything I purchase for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, for today, tomorrow, and Sunday, will be logged here. But so I'm not going to put totals or anything because this week isn't finished. But so far, I have spent money on lunch and on Arby's. So you add this and the McDonald's, and that takes out my takeout money plus a little more. And, or I mean, I think I need to change this. This should say takeout, because that's what my envelope says, is takeout. This here was an expense made yesterday on Amazon for some beauty supply things. And so that right there was not budgeted for, but remember I told you our budget was in a surplus of $210. That's got to cover this right here. So we're still working out the kinks, but this is where we're at so far. On Sunday, I will hopefully remember to come in, add all the rest of this up, make my categories and totals, and be set for next week. Now we have finished it all. I think we went through everything. We tracked our money. We made our budget. And I think we are good to go until our next paycheck. So thank you for stopping by and hanging out with me tonight. I hope everybody has a great weekend. And I hope you enjoyed this video. I try to do a Figure It Out Friday. I try to do every Friday. It's been kind of every other Friday for some time. It just depends. I definitely do it on Pay Week Friday. So every other Friday we will budget. And yeah, that's all I've got for tonight, guys. So again, thank you for coming along. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to always do the same. Like, share, subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you hit that button, because I post videos. I try to do about 4 a week, and I really want you to come along and do this financial freedom journey with me. So have a great night. As always, have a great and God-filled night and weekend. You guys are the best. See ya.